Hello. Well, you made it here to YouTube. That's fantastic. Thank you so, so much. I hope this is going to be an interesting journey. There is a lot in life that goes on that we don't discuss or we don't talk about. We don't often share our feelings, our emotions. And it's really, really good, I think, to have a space where we can do that. Maybe we can do some live events here, have some discussion groups, and really get to the bottom of what makes us tick as human beings, why we're here, what it's all about, and also how to get creative, how to express ourselves. I was having a discussion with somebody last night, and they were talking about how the body, each cell of the body holds obviously genetic information and can bring out all sorts of things like inflammation and make you ill. But I really believe that those cells also hold emotion, and there's been a lot of research about how that actually is being proven. There was a book years ago, I think in the 80s or 90s, by a professor in the States who wrote about cells of emotion and how we carry things with us and through us. Trauma, PTSD, any kind of big emotional upsets and events that happen in our lives, even if they're obviously joyful things too, but we tend to sort of, the festering and the illness and the bad health generally tends to come from those kind of bad bits of our memory bank, and it's not good. And I'm here really to try and make a huge effort to enable us to express ourselves in a creative way, in a non-judgmental way, and also to talk about subjects and topics in life which affect us all. Now, many of you will know that I've had a big weight issue all of my life. It was kind of it was sort of exaggerated and impounded by my mother, who, I mean, I know we all sort of say the mother figure is, the making or breaking of us, but my mum was an unusual fish, and I'm not going to go into that now, but she had a massively negative impact on my weight. And so I want to discover and talk about those sorts of issues. I also want to talk about art and literature and how those can affect our well-being as well, because if you think about all the amazing books and poems that have been written, they've been written often in deep states of emotion, well, certainly poetry. When you have a story inside you to tell, it's usually because you've experienced things in life very, very deeply. I write, and I've met a lot of authors, and I think that we as a kind of tribe generally feel quite intensely and kind of like hold on and distill all of those emotions and things that have happened to us. And that's how we manage to write poetry. We manage to write stories and books and all sorts of things. It doesn't matter if you're a good writer or a bad writer. If you read your poetry aloud, if no one ever gets to see it, I'm here to advocate that everybody can write poetry. Anyone can write poetry. Anybody can write it, whether it's for your private benefit, whether it's to share with loved ones, or whether it's to self-publish or publish a little book or post it on your own social media sites. But go out there and do it. I mean, there's no time like the present. I always say to people, especially to my children, that if you don't get it out of your head, your heart, your soul, you're going to take it with you when you die, and then no one's going to know what you were truly, really feeling or how those things affected you. And by expressing it and by letting it out and by writing that song or playing your guitar or writing the poem or painting the painting or planting the garden or inventing the recipe and writing it down, then you can share it with the rest of the world. Or you can just share it with one other person. Or you can just write it down, and then when you're dead, somebody will open your drawer and there will be your folder of recipes. And how cool is that? That's another thing that my children have been asking me. Mummy, now that they've all left home, can we have your recipe for this? Can we have your recipe for that? Can you write this down? Can you write that down? Can we have your salad dressing recipe? Whatever it is. And I have put together a plastic file with those sort of plastic clear leaves in it. And basically every time I discover something new or I make something up, because most of the time I make things up, I'm one of those kind of cooks who just kind of chucks it in and hopes for the best. And very often it comes out quite well. Apart from things like cakes, you have to sort of follow, not dimensions, what is it, weights and measures, and to make sure that they're all kind of in the correct ratio. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a flat pancake or something you could hit someone over the head with. But I generally try to put down the recipes so that even if I don't have a chance to self-publish my little recipe book for my children, which I'd quite like to do actually, they will have that. They can photocopy them, they can make their own little folder. I can give it to them for Christmas, a little folder of recipes. I think they'd absolutely love that. That to them would be more valuable, I think, than anything else, because it's a taste of home. And a taste of home and those lovely memories of sitting around the table when we were all happy. Okay, we all had our issues. There were lots of problems in my family, what have you, but the kids and I, we were happy. And when we were around the table enjoying a lovely meal together, and everybody sat down together and everybody came around that table and there was love shared around that table. So I'm always a big advocate for getting it out of your system, making sure that you do write it down, you do paint it, you do crochet that blanket for the baby, you do I don't know, take the cuttings from your indoor plants and share them with your loved ones, because it's showing a kind of artistry, a creativity. It's giving and sharing a part of your very essence of who you are, the being of the person that you are, what you're passionate about, what you've learned about, what you really want people to know about you. And I think that that's the sort of deepest, darkest secret, the kind of the answer to everything, isn't it? It's to be able to have that courage to share those things with people, and not to feel kind of embarrassed or ashamed if you do those little cuttings of, I don't know, your indoor spider plant or something, and all you give them is a tiny little plant in a tiny little pot. That little tiny baby spider plant is potentially going to be a great big mummy spider plant, and great big spider plant that puts all those little arms and branches going out and stems with all the little babies stuck on it. So what? You've given somebody something that's precious to you, that you've nurtured, and that is a part of you. And it's the same with writing poetry. When you get a poem from somebody, a loved one, your child, even just a gorgeous letter written by your child, to me that's always worth far more at Christmas or birthdays or Mother's Day than them going and buying me something with their pocket money or whatever. I've always said that to them. Do not waste your money on me. Give me something that you've made, or write me a lovely message, something, anything. And I always will find a place in the house to put it, whether it's inside a cupboard door or outside of a cupboard door, depending on how lovely it is. I mean, in terms of what I want to see. So I think that's really important. So I'm here on this YouTube channel, this very YouTube channel, which has taken us a long time to get our heads around, really, for you. And somewhere where we can share together the joys of creativity, the joys of being human beings, escape the outside world, somewhere where we can do things together, where we can learn together, where we can grow together, where we can flourish, where we can teach each other new stuff. And I really welcome your comments here as well, because that gives me a really good indication as to where you want this whole conversation to go. And it also gives me inspiration, because this is a very solitary thing. Sitting here in my study as I am at the moment, the cloudy sky is getting darker and darker outside. I'm here all nice and cozy, talking to you. But I'm talking to you as in I'm talking to my phone or my camera. I'm not talking to you, the person that's watching this, actually next to me. It feels like I'm talking to you. It feels like I'm talking to an old friend. And that's how I want it to stay, because that's what nourishes me. That's what makes me feel that this is all worthwhile. That I'm here talking to an old friend, almost like talking to myself. It's what I want to hear. This is what I would like somebody to tell me, to talk to me about, to teach me about, to help me through and guide me through the kind of turmoil of life, because life is a pretty rocky road sometimes, and it can be an incredibly tumultuous roller coaster. And I want you to know that I'm with you every step of the way, whether I'm holding your hand or just giving you comfort when you're at the end of the day, when you're lying in bed and you can't get to sleep, or you wake up in the middle of the night, or you just want to relax with a glass of wine or a cup of tea or coffee or whatever it is. Put your feet up, put on my little YouTube video and just think, oh, that was a really interesting poetry reading. I didn't know about that poet. Wasn't she amazing? Or, oh, I love that painting. Yeah, I never knew that he did this or she did that, and that was his muse, or his muse painted it or made it or sculpted it or whatever. So just little kind of snippets on life, really, as I see them. Very personal opinions, very much about how I perceive things. And then obviously, hopefully you will respond and you will let me know whether or not you find it interesting. So yes, so another great big welcome to you. And I really, really hope that you do enjoy my YouTube channel. Please spread the word with your friends and your colleagues and your relatives and your groups and your whatever it is that you do. And I really hope that we can make this grow together, because it's going to be a good thing. And the other really nice thing about it is I'm going to be able to talk about things which are not going to be as kind of rigidly rigidly specified by some of the other social media channels. So I'm hoping it's going to be a much sort of freer environment where we can discuss all sorts of things. Maybe even show a nude painting and not get it deleted or get banned by Facebook or whoever else because you've shown a painting by, I don't know, Caravaggio and it's got a woman breastfeeding or something. I mean, these are the things I'm hoping are not going to happen here on YouTube, which we have to be very careful about on other channels. So I am looking forward to your continued support. Please, please, please do let me know what you'd like me to talk about. And I'm here, remember, I'm here for you. This is all about me sharing things for you. So you are like the kind of lowest common denominator in this whole exercise. So do please, please encourage me with ideas about what you would like me to talk about. And I'll keep you posted and hopefully see a lot more of you, and lots and lots and lots of love. And thank you so much for subscribing. And if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, because it's a no-brainer and it's very helpful to me. I'm a kind of, working from home person, and it's just encouraging, and it keeps me motivated, and it keeps me kind of on the ball, and it keeps me happy. So yeah, that would be wonderful if you could do that, and love you for that, and lots and lots of love, and have a fantastic rest of your day, and enjoy my videos. Take care. Bye bye.